What up, it's your boy T-Chronic here with the first episode of the T-Chronicles podcast, an idea I have had in mind for a long time. And here it is, the first episode about lucid dreaming. I am not going to splice this video together and take different cuts. I'm just going to let it roll through. So enter that flow state, no breaks, you know what I'm saying? First, just want to give a little recap. Shout out to everybody who came out to the show at the holding company. I got the chance to open up for Immortal Technique last night and the night before. So big ups to everybody who came out and supported. Saw a lot of friends I haven't seen in a long time. So it was a great ass night. The next show I'll be opening up for KRS-One at the holding company February 28th with my homie Loch Ness. And that show will be rocking it as Soul Shop Music. It's a duo that we had formed recently. So excited to share the new creations with that. February 28th. Tickets will sell out super fast. It's going to sell out. I got a certain amount of tickets on deck, so hit me up while you still can. They're $25 each. Just dropped a new album called Silver Lining. It's a 10-track album, and it's a very thought-out track list, and took a lot of time. In this creation. Has features from my homie Tanner Whitey G and his brother Sunken Vision, as well as my homies Loch Ness and Apollo 8 of Atlantis Rising, and the homie 5 Milli. And out now on all platforms. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first ever episode of T-Chronicles. So lucid dreaming, being aware that you are dreaming. Sometimes growing up, I've had lucid dreams very briefly, and about last year, they started getting more consistent and more vivid. And so I just wanted to share a few experiences, specifically about flying in your lucid dreams. So I had this dream that, I'd say it was about I lived in Ocean Beach about 2 years ago. And so that was the first flying dream about 2 years ago, I'd say. And in this dream, I was above a road, like a freshly paved black asphalt road, and the vibrant yellow lines down the middle. And it was nighttime, and I was horizontal about 6 feet above this road. And my hands were down by my sides, clutched in fist. And to the right of me was like a mountain that went up to the side, and down below to the left was a mountain that went down below, and it was like a canyon that just kind of had endless trees on both sides. The mountain going up, and then the mountain down below, just endless canyons of just trees. And it was dark outside, but I could see the road and the yellow lines so clearly, and I could see the vibrancy of the trees so clearly, even though it's pitch black. Anyways, I'm going down this road. All of a sudden in the dream, I realize that I'm dreaming, and I'm hauling ass down this road flying. And I realize I'm in a dream, and I'm just flying down this road. And say you're like 100% lucid in the dream, to where you're like, I want to fly way up here, or I want to do backflips in the air. I was like 75%, 80% lucid, meaning I was well aware that I was in a dream and I was flying down this road. But I wanted to hold on to that as long as I could, so I didn't do anything I didn't fly up to the left or the right or do anything like that, because I felt like maybe it would wake me up. And so I was just like, sit on this little teeter-totter I got going on, and I'm hauling ass down this road, and I'm about 6 feet above the road, horizontal, and my hands are down by my sides. And it's weird, so it's pitch black outside, and like I was saying, I could see like the vividness of everything, the trees being green, even though it's pitch black. And my head had like headlights. It was like lighting up the road as I was going. I noticed that when I would put my head forward more, when I would tilt my head into like the momentum going forward, the faster I would fly, like significantly faster. The more I would like nudge my head into it, I was just hauling ass. And it was like when you're playing, that racing game, and you hit the button to like get the extra fucking boost. It was like that. The more I put my head forward, it would make me accelerate. So I woke up from that dream and it just blew my mind, and I held on to that dream for a while. And so I wanted to share too real fast about that dream. I journaled it in my dream journal, which is only has 2 dreams in it, that being one of them. And I didn't journal it right away. I waited some time, and I was like, you know what? I remembered it so vividly. It was almost like I didn't need to journal it. I knew, that it wasn't going nowhere in my mind. That was such an incredible dream. It instantly resonated with me. So here's a silly, looks like a little kid drew it, just some sort of visual, so you can get an idea of what I was seeing in my dream. So there's me, woohoo, you know what I'm saying, super excited. The little beams coming off my head represent the headlights lighting up the road. And to the right of me was like the canyon of trees on a mountain going upward. And down below here was a canyon that just went down endlessly. Just very vibrant nature. And I could see the black asphalt, freshly paved road and the yellow line so clearly. And it was like my head had headlights. And the more I would nudge my head into the flight, I would go faster and faster. It was wild. So I'll just read the entry that I wrote too as well. I said, lucid flying dream. This was one of the coolest dreams I've ever had. There was a long road. It was a very clean road, as if it was freshly paved. Black asphalt, bright yellow stripes down the middle. I was flying parallel right above the road, about 6 feet high. It was pitch black outside. To the left and to the right side seemed to be an endless canyon of trees. It was almost as if my head had headlights because the path in front of me was lit up so I can see where I'm flying. My hands were in fists by my side, and I was flying. This dream began with me already in the air, zooming down the road, and instantly became lucid for me. The more I nudged my head forward, the faster I would go. It was badass. It was ecstatic. I was ecstatic and had so much fun. That's my entry I wrote for it. So I want to share another lucid dream. So this is super trippy. I would say like some months after that, at least like 6 months or so after that, I'm out at dinner with my girlfriend and her dad and her family, and we're at dinner, and her dad's super into like, just existential, very, he's into quantum mechanics, very smart dude who is always down for a conversation like that, So we're talking about dreaming, and I was telling him about that dream. We're sitting at a table, and I'm telling him like how, I didn't, zoom to the left or the right. I just wanted to stay in that moment. And I noticed how I nudge my head forward and I go faster, hitting the gas pedal. And it was just explaining him the dream. And I went home that night after talking about that dream with him, and it kind of resurfaced back in my head, and I was just thinking about that dream. And that night I went home, and before I laid down, I had this little apophyllite stone. It kind of looks like quartz. It's called I believe that's how it's pronounced, but it's a special crystal to me. And I remember just being like, all right, be with me in my dreams tonight. I have my nightstand has all my stones on it and stuff, and crystals and amethyst and my whole collection. And so that little specific crystal, I remember grabbing it and be like, be with me in my dream tonight. This after I got back from having dinner and stuff and talking about that first dream. And that night I had another lucid dream. And this time I was in this like big, like a giant Home Depot. It was weird. That's how I could explain it. Like a big warehouse, a giant Home Depot kind of, but more open, not as much aisles. And I got off this bench in the dream, and right when I stood up off the bench, I had realized I'm dreaming. Oh my! It's happening again. I'm dreaming. And I remember I was running around this like warehouse area, and I was trying to fly because I was thinking about in that moment, in that dream, being lucid. I was like, whoa, I was just at dinner talking about my first dream with Kaylee's dad about flying. And so here I am just like running through this like warehouse facility, running and trying to jump. And each time I would run and try to jump, I would like feather back down towards the ground. And I tried again, and same thing. I like feather back down towards the ground. And so I was wondering, why can't I fly? What's going on? And I was like walking around this facility, and I saw my friend Alex and Chloe in the dream, and I was like, none of this is real. None of this is real. I was well lucid, and I was fully in the dream walking around lucid. It gives me chills thinking about it. It was very, very, here I am in a dream. Wow, I'm lucid. This happened again. And so anyways, I'm walking through this facility, and I was after like trying to fly for a certain amount of times. I kind of gave up on it, and I wasn't getting bored with the dream. It was like a feeling of just like, oh, like I can't fly. Like what is there? What am I? What is this? What am I doing? And I like kind of like had this like desire to like go somewhere else, like see what I'm in this weird facility of this like Home Depot, like it's a dream and I'm well aware of it. Where else can I go? And in that moment, this like pole appeared. It looked like a stripper pole, and it just appeared out of nowhere in this like I said, this Home Depot. I remember it was a black bench, kind of like at Parkway Plaza Mall, here in El Cajon, and it's just like a bench, like a mall bench. And if you know that mall, you know what benches I'm talking about. It's like black metal bench. And I remember too, in this facility, it was like the same kind of tile that you see at Walmart, kind of as white tile. I remember every detail of it. So anyways, after trying to fly, realizing it wasn't working out for me in that dream, and I was trying to run and fly and kept fluttering back down, I kind of wanted to like will myself somewhere else. And this pole appeared. And in the dream, I grabbed the pole, and I closed my eyes in the dream, and I was like trying to like will myself somewhere else, like using the pole as like a, some sort of like fucking portal hopper, I don't even know, something just to like launch me somewhere else. And I remember the moment I closed my eyes when I grabbed that pole in the dream, realized I'm like, I'm in a dream with my eyes closed right now. And I'm aware of that. I'm standing here in a dream with my eyes closed. And then I thought to myself in that moment, what would happen if I just tried to go to sleep right now? My eyes are closed. I'm in a dream. This is wild. What would happen if I just laid down on this dream floor in this weird facility atmosphere and tried to go to sleep? Where would I go? What would I do? What would happen? And so that was the last part of that dream. And I'd woke up after that. And, it was really fascinating. It didn't fly in that dream, but the fact that I tried and I couldn't, and I was so lucid just to be able to walk around after and then close my eyes inside the dream, and then have the thought of what if I went to sleep and I was sleeping inside of a dream? Would I wake up in this dream and then wake up? Where would I go? And so, I looked up online when I woke up from that dream, lucid dream, tried to fly but couldn't, something like that. And the first thing that popped up really tripped me out. It was like the reason why you couldn't fly in your dream was because you were trying to. You were applying the laws of gravity in the dream world where they might not have existed prior to that, but because you were running like you would try to fly in this physical world, running and trying to fly, as if you're a kid thinking you got wings and you can just fucking fly. You trying to physically run and fly is the exact reason why you couldn't. And so it blew my mind, because I was like, that makes sense. I was trying to run and fly rather than willing myself with just my mind beyond, because I'm not in the physical world. And so I had one more dream following that, and this one's kind of faint, but it was another flying one that I woke up and I was like, whoa, it happened. I did it. But I don't remember exactly where I was at, but I remember that I clutched my fist down, like standing up this time, and I was somewhere and I clutched my fist down by my sides, and I remember not to try running or anything, and I just used my mind. I remember just thinking about like how Superman just blasts off from the ground, just badass. It happened. It was cool. It was a matter of me just using my mind, and I was easily able to launch just like a rocket. And I don't know, that dream was very, very faint. And I just remember waking up like, whoa, I did it again. Whoa, I didn't try to run around. I just like used my mind. And it was trippy because I remember standing up and blasting off. And I remember my fists were clenched just like the very first lucid dream where I was flying above the road. My fists were clenched in that same way. And it was just like it was just like trippy. So that is my lucid dream experiences right there. I hope to have many more. Like I was saying in the beginning, I've had lucid dream. My whole family are dreamers, and we have a big history of having some really trippy dreams. And growing up, I had some lucid dreams, but they were very, very, like I would be mopping the floor at the old job I had. Like nothing, and I'd be lucid for a sec, and whoa, I'm dreaming, and then I'd wake up. But until, and the reason too why I started tapping in more into that dream world is I stopped smoking and drinking for about 2 weeks or so during that time, and it triggered me to have all these lucid dreams, let alone flying. I'm making sure I'm still recording here. Boom, cool. So yeah, it was that little break kind of, somebody put dreaming, they're like, when you're smoking and stuff, imagine a cup of water, and when you're smoking all the time, your dreams are barely splashing over, but when you stop, it like spills that whole cup. And so that's exactly what happened. Wanted to add one more thing to that, but yeah. So anyways, that's the first episode of T-Chronicles right there. And my voice is a little shot out from these shows, but you know what? It's a badge of honor. It was a fun ass time. February 28th, KRS-One at the holding company. Myself and Loch Ness will be opening up as Soul Shop Music. We have a lot of new music on the way. Be on the lookout for new music from Atlantis Rising, the hip-hop group I am also a part of. And be on the lookout for some new T-Chronic announcements, some show, maybe a tour, maybe some new music, maybe some music videos for the new tracks that I just dropped on this album. It's going down. Be on the lookout. Cheers. And keep shining. Just keep on going. Life is wild, and we just need to be there for each other more.